It's Monday, October 7th, 2019. I'm doing my T-Shot for this week, and I want to talk a bit about some discrimination that I faced that was kind of in reverse of what I usually experience. What I usually experience with transphobia is people projecting their transphobia onto me, and in worst case scenario, that's happens in a public place. It's happened quite a bit actually, and it's also happened with violence. I mean, I've been like violently attacked. I've been like punched in the face. That's why my lip is kind of has this big lump in it, because I had my lip split from this outside where the line goes to all the way inside, and it kind of sucked because like I don't mind the bump or whatever. I might see if it can be fixed at a later time, but because it's in a moist area inside my mouth, it took a really long time. It was really difficult to heal, and whenever I like smiled or had to do this shape with my mouth, it would open again. So that's happened, and I've had my nose broken across here, which I'd really like to have fixed, because it causes me breathing problems. I've had like a rib, not broken, but all the cartilage torn away from it, and disc herniations in my back from being physically attacked, from violence, from transphobia, and but it bothers me more, I think, when somebody verbally attacks me. I have to think about it because I'm like processing how I feel about it. Yeah, I think it's inconvenient having a broken nose, because I have to, like, it happened when I was in my teens, between 16 and 18, and now I'm in my 40s, and I might be able to get it fixed in maybe 2 years from now. And that's just systemically being prevented from getting work and jobs that I'm qualified for. So there's a systemic transphobia with that, but I think it bothers me more to have somebody be like, "Hey, I can't believe you're trans," in front of a bunch of other people. Like the mental strife bothers me more than physical attack. So the reverse transphobia I experienced this past week or so, where it's just occurred to me like today that it was happening, but the incident or promises happened a week or two ago. I'm getting faster at catching it, whereas before I think it stems from a lack of parental care. That I don't realize it because I'm in such desperate need of it's not really attention or affirmation of myself or attention seeking. It's more like there's been like nobody in my life, so I just want the basics, like to be on par with everybody else. It's like when you have a disability and you need an aid for mobility, like a chair, a wheelchair or something, and just to put you on level kind of with walking people, but you're not really, because you still have to call wheel trans, and you still have to only go to accessible places with ramps or elevators, or, you know, so it's like, that's where I am with my emotionality, transphobia, and social interaction or desire for family or friends. I just want to be on the same par with people who have family, who have friends, and I don't mean a lot of friends, I just mean one person that they're connected with, that they can chat with on even every other day or daily. Like, most people have somebody they can talk to on a daily basis, and I don't have that. So for example, the transphobia I was experiencing, I thought I was meeting, again, you know, like, deceived into this mind state of extreme hopefulness, and just being like, oh, I thought I met a friend again, you know? And this person said that they, you know, give them a show, and that they would go for coffee with me, or a drink, or, you know, maybe even to an art show, which is my, like, most far off hope and desire, is to have a friend to go to an art show with, because I have so much anxiety. So they started promising me this thing that I desire, which is a friendship, and even talked with me for over an hour when I met with them. But the reverse transphobia is just that, or my reverse of my experiences, of what I usually experience is transphobia. I'm just doing my Tshot while I talk about this. So I just have an alcohol swab that I'm cleaning the injection site with. But yeah, so they were really nice to me in kind of a public space. It was like a workspace that other artists go to, and there was 2 other employees there. And they were asking me about their life, and even it wasn't even one-sided, which I usually experience, like people wanting to get more information out of me and know more about me and my life without telling me anything about themselves. But it was pretty equal. Like, they were telling me about their life and their experience of homophobia and stuff like that, and I felt like it was equal and cordial, and it was nice of them, and they were treating me fairly. And this was all in front of another employee who was kind of working, sometimes adding to the conversation. And they asked me to email them rather than message on Facebook as a better method of communication. And I had asked them, is this, like, do you prefer a different form, like Instagram, or do you prefer Messenger or an email? And they told me to email them. And I did, and it's been over a week at least, maybe it's been 2 weeks, and they're just not messaging me back. So the issue is that they're two-faced. They're saving face in public and being like, hey, I'm cool with you being queer and trans, and everything is awesome, and how's your life, and like, let's try to talk about issues on both sides, and everything's like Gucci. But then in private, talking to me, it's as if they want nothing to do with me, and it grosses them out or something. Like, that's my impression, is like, they don't even have the interest in even responding back with, like, hey, I'm not interested actually in hanging out with you. It's just complete blocked and silence, and that's a form of hate. When you really, you know, get somebody's hopes up, especially somebody like me that I haven't talked to my family in like 6 years or 7 years, and like anyone in my family. And the last person I talked to was my mom, and there's been no response from her, even though I had tried the first few years, like every few months and every 6 months and every year, to resolve our communication issues. And I've tried to do that with friends, and I've had in the past, and I don't have any, so for somebody to promise me that they'll, like, go have a coffee with me when, like, the last person who did that with me was 2 years ago, like, it's really hurtful to, like, do that and then turn around and, not respond and give me silence and like just stonewall me, like be a brick wall, that's not cool. And I thought maybe it was an issue with them being busy at work or something, but it's not actually. And they'd asked me to contact them through a work email too, so they would get it at work and they could and I'm affiliated with their work, so it's kind of part of their obligation to respond to artist inquiries in a way. So, I mean, I could be saying, hey, do you want to go for a coffee because I need to talk about my contract, because that's happened before. But no, it's and I've checked to make sure that they have the right email. It's just hate. It makes me feel. That's what I feel like. Maybe I did something wrong. Like maybe I gave the wrong email, or they, haven't had enough time. But like when it's been 2 weeks and you're just like brick walling me, don't lie and say you want to be my friend and just say a face in public and make you. That's the only thing I can see is like maybe they're trying to seem cool in public and being like okay with trans people, or somebody who's like trans or non-binary, but then in private you're like, actually no, I hate trans people, or like that's gross, or whatever you're thinking. Yeah, just so you know, folks, sorry, I hate that term, folks. So trans people that they're watching this, like that's something that can happen to you, and to be careful of that, not just like the outright blatant transphobia, but like people being like, yeah, I love everybody, I love gay people, I love trans people, I love intersex people and asexual people, but then in private they're like, not for me, no thanks. Like, that happens, okay? So just be careful of that can happen, and protect yourself from feelings of hurt. Make sure you're strong enough to approach situations, friendships, where you can be completely rejected. I'm always kind of on the cusp of, as soon as I'm ready to handle that amount of rejection, I go and inquire about a friendship. But maybe, obviously, I'm not strong enough to handle the rejection. So, I hope it changes soon. And I've been trying to be more outgoing and social, but it's hard when, the results of the rejection is this situation I'm in now, where I can't go outside, I can't go to a coffee shop right now. Look at me. I'm too, like, I have some dignity, right? So I don't want to be bawling and walk into, you know, and everybody's gonna be like, oh, what's wrong with him? Like, you know, like, it's just really hard when you have nothing, you know, so. And for cis people watching this too, like, just be careful of, if you're not willing to go the full extent of doing what you say that you can do for a person, don't make empty promises and don't be two-faced about it. Just be upfront. That, you know, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. If you're internally transphobic, then don't interact with the trans person there just to seem like you fit in. Like, just take a step away or leave the situation or walk away. Like, this person could have said, like, actually, no, I'm too busy, I need to do some work in my office, you know, like, and just step away. Don't even say I can do it later, like, just step away, because that's an empty promise. So I'd rather have the truth than these lies. It hurts. It just hurts too much. So yeah. Anyhow, here's my testosterone shot for October 7th, 2019. And yeah, I hope to have a better week and do some traveling soon. So see how that goes. Right. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up and leave a comment if you have any suggestions or questions for me or similar experiences you want to talk about. Right? Have a great week. Bye.